Hello, beautiful people. I'm coming to you with Cacao Chats with Cass. I almost forgot what it was called. But here I am. It's Monday morning here in Australia and my partner has just gone away for a week. So he left this morning and it's been really hectic this morning, just getting everything ready and then getting my son to daycare. And I literally haven't had 2 seconds to myself. Yes, I've had a shower and got dressed, but apart from that, I've literally been on a cleaning frenzy and just busy. So I am so ready to sit in a little ritual. And yeah, I'm here, I'm showing up. This is my 5th week I've done this, guys, which is amazing for a generator. This is like, it's still bringing me joy. It's still lighting me up, so that's good. And you guys are loving it, so that's a bonus too. I received an awesome question this week around, actually it was a few weeks ago, but I'm just catching up on them, around following my soul's calling and doing business and Instagram or in social media in my own way, which is really cool. I'm excited to share this with you today because it's a very interesting story, as it always is with me. There's lots going on, always. But let me show you what I've got prepared here for the cacao piece of this segment. I'm using this ceremonial cacao today, Great Spirit. I've used this before on this chat with you, and I literally have been so slack in doing an online order of my cacao, so I'm just like running down to the store and grabbing it when I need it. But this one is great. It's amazing. It's nice and creamy. It's from Bali, and yeah, this is like the consistency. I've already chopped up my 2 tablespoons, something I prepared earlier. I am putting in my Collagen Beauty as always because I am wanting to keep my skin and hair and nails beautiful. I'm also still using this I Am Gaia, which is the Super Feast Women's Blend. Trying to conceive, wanting everything to be working and strong and just amazing, so this baby can land in my womb. I've got my cayenne pepper, which is the activator for the cacao to help it go through the bloodstream quicker. And oh, I forgot to get my maple syrup, but I will grab that. I'm going to use this meditation mist today because I am like really needing it. I gave myself a clearing just before I jumped on, but just needed that. And then I'm using this feminine energy tonic, which is for fertility, hormone balance, and anxiety, which is great. I actually did my first hypnotherapy session on Friday. I have never done it before. I've done lots of modalities, but it's my first time doing that. It was great. We worked on my anxiety, which, yeah, it was interesting. It wasn't where I was going, but it's what she picked up on. So it was really good. I'm still integrating, and she created like this hypno meditation for me to do this week as like for integration, so 4 to 5 times. But yeah, it was really interesting. So it's not what I imagined it to be. Yeah, you're not like totally tranced out. Well, I wasn't. Some people probably experience that, but I wasn't. Anyway, let's get on to making this cacao. I've also got my ceremonial cup and some filtered water in there. So I'm going to pop that in the saucepan. I've got my tools as well, my knife, and I'll grab my whisker and we're good to go. So I guess let's talk about my journey, following my soul's purpose. Guys, I'm clearly not organized. Grabbing stuff as we go. So I finished school in 2000. Can you bloody believe it? Feels like yesterday, but also a lifetime ago. So I finished school in Brisbane in 2000, and I was one of those people that had no idea what they wanted to do when I left school. I looked at these people who knew exactly what they wanted to do. Like, I had friends that wanted to be doctors and nurses and artists and like amazing things, but I just didn't know. I was pretty lost and confused, to be honest. And my dad was trying to push me down the field of like doing marketing, which funny enough, that's what I do now, right, in my own business. But I literally had no idea. I left school and yeah, I was like, oh, you know what? I might do events management. So I did a diploma in events management, mainly because I had friends doing it. So I thought, oh yeah, I could do that. anyway, completed that and just found jobs. I started in real estate to start with, and I was working just as a receptionist in a real estate agent, and then I moved into sales, and I mean, it was fun. I liked it, and it gave me experience in sales and working at the front desk, so admin. And then I liked it until I didn't like it as a generator in human design. Now I know this. Like, I've literally changed careers a lot in my life. And so many people have looked at me and thought I'm insane, especially my family and close friends. And it's like I get to this point, I'm like, I cannot turn up tomorrow because it is literally killing my soul. And that's when I know. And like, there's been many times where I've stepped past that and I've like just gone into like, literally my light is just completely off. I'm so drained and depleted from continuing to work in a job that I have really disliked in the end, or just it just hasn't aligned with where I'm at, because we all grow, right? And we go through different growth spurts throughout our life, and I guess I get to points and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the next thing. So that's what I've done. I've always followed the next thing that's lit me up and got me excited. So I worked at Strike Bowling Bar as an events manager. That was a fun job. And then I got a job with Red Bull, the energy drink, and I was one of the promo chicks. So I was working, handing out cans of Red Bull and educating people on the energy drink, and going to lots of sporting events, and what else were we going to? Concerts and like all amazing events around Queensland. So that was really fun. And then I moved into sales with Red Bull. So I followed this sales path. I've worked for obviously an amazing company. Red Bull is amazing at what they do and how they look after their staff and how they train. And I had a really great time. I mean, I was in my 20s, like living it up. So then, moved into sales. And then I worked for another company in sales because I was done with Red Bull and I was ready to move on. So I worked for another drink brand, and then I got into liquor and I worked for Moet Hennessy. So I just followed like these amazing businesses, I guess, more than anything, that excited me, like the business, the brands, followed those breadcrumbs and had amazing experiences. I mean, at Moet Hennessy, it was so cool. Like, I got to travel to over to the Moet and Shandon house, stay in the house, and have a week there, like engrossed in all of the wineries. And it was epic. It was amazing until it wasn't. And then I was like, I don't really want to be helping people get drunk for their entire lives. And so and then, that's right. And then this is when I got into the fitness world, because I was working for Moet Hennessy, but I was training with this fitness group in Bondi. So I'd moved to Sydney now. And I loved it. It was the first time I actually loved fitness and loved training. And this group was called the Buff Girls, and we trained on Bondi Beach every morning. It was 5:45 or 6:30 classes. I should know that because I became a trainer. 5:45, 6:30, and I would do the 5:45 class, and then I would go to work. And I got to a point where I was like really friendly with the trainers, and I was like, I feel like I want to do my fitness training certificate just for fun, just for me, because it really made me excited. Like, I loved the way I felt. I loved this training group and how, like, their philosophy and their values, and I just really started to get into that health scene, that wellness scene, looking after myself for probably the first time in my life. Anyway, this trainer, who I'm friends with now, Alicia, she was like, yes, and come and work for us. So anyway, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to just do my certificates and see what happens at the end. I didn't even get to the end of the course, and then I was a trainer there. I started part-time, and then they offered me a full-time role. So I quit my job, and I was like, full-time trainer. Like I went from having a laptop, a car, all my petrol being paid for, obviously all the alcohol that I could ever want, a phone, all of that, and was like, no, I'm going to follow my passion. So I went into the training world and was earning like an hourly rate. Like it wasn't a full-time salary rate. That came later. So it was a big jump. That was like my biggest jump, I would say, in my career. I'm just going to connect with this sacred smoke and cleanse and clear and liberate any heaviness from my cacao, my water. Yeah, so this is where like everyone was like, you are insane. What are you doing? But I'm an Aquarius sun also. So I'm like, beat my own drum, my own pace, my own time. I do my thing. And a lot of people think that that's weird and it's crazy. So I had that stigma for a while, but I loved the fitness world, and there were so many experiences when I would be teaching, like the end of the class, and women would come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, that was so amazing. I just feel so good. Like, and that was like, ding, 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 ding. Wow, I'm actually doing something that is helping women feel good, you know, coming from home and like any situation they may be in, whether they have kids or partners or they're going through something big. But when they're training and when they're in that field of fitness, you know, they get to forget about that and just enjoy themselves. And we were all about making fitness fun. And we did. We made it so fun. And I did that for years. It actually grew into an amazing business where we were traveling around Australia doing a stage show with a local radio station, which is not a local radio station. It was a radio station that's all around Australia. Was it Today FM? Today FM. Sam Frost, you'll know if you're watching. So we had so much fun. Like it was such an expansive time for me. Like I was super fit, healthy, but also partying on the side. But I was learning so much, you know, about working with women and working with the female body and what does work and what doesn't. So I'm so grateful for that experience. Libby Babette, who is the owner of the business, it's now called The Upbeat. She is phenomenal. Like this woman is a powerhouse. She is a businesswoman. She is here to create amazing businesses, and she has done that. She's got a lot of Capricorn placements. Yes, you do, Libs. Anyway, it really helped me just see a woman going for it, and like I hadn't had that in my life. Like my mum was a housewife. I didn't have like that inspiration in my life where I saw women like really going for it, you know? And this was like my first time of like, wow. I learned so much about health, so much about the female body, so much about fitness. And then that's where it led me to like, okay, it's time for me to go out on my own, like following the breadcrumbs. It was like, I'm done with that iteration. That was amazing, but it's now time for me to grow more. And I was working with a kinesiologist at the time, and she was helping me to basically let go of fear, jump in and, you know, cultivate more courage and confidence to move into my own business. So that's where I created my own business. And I mean, I had an ABN for that whole time in the training world because I was getting paid through my ABN. And so that part was easy. It was like, okay, well, I know that business side. And then from there, when I followed that and I was like, okay, I'm done, I started to get so much business, and I was working in the corporate world, and it was a lot of money and it was fun work. I was traveling around with different conferences as the energizer, and basically getting up and helping these people that were in a conference for 2, 3, 4 days to get off their seats, move, learn a little bit about how they can incorporate health and fitness into their day. Like, it was super fun, and I created all that. And it was like, oh my gosh, I thought I wasn't a creative person. I had always had that story that I wasn't a creative person. So this was something I've also been working through. It's like we are all creators, and it's really about just getting out of your own way. That's what I've been doing for most of my life, is just like, okay, move out of the way. Creation wants to come through. And so yeah, had a great time. Had a great time with that and following those breadcrumbs again. Then unfortunately my mum fell sick in 2019, and that changed everything for me. It changed everything into the point of like how I really wanted to look after myself. Hold on a moment. And I decided to stop getting Botox and fillers. I decided that I wanted to get my implants out, which I had for 11 years. And I really just wanted to really look after myself in a much deeper level. And this is where I started to work with more energetic work. Obviously I was doing kinesiology, but I was going deeper. I was working with coaches and just understanding energetics and opening myself up to more of the spiritual world. Calling on Goddess Ish Cacao, Maestra, we hum, may you activate and bless this cacao with the highest frequencies of light and of love. Thank you. And yeah, so I got my implants removed, and obviously getting implants removed is an operation. So I had to stop training how I was. I was training hard, like every single day. Like I would teach 2 classes in the morning. I would go and have my second coffee, and then I'd go to a training, like a hard training session. And my body was in like fully inflamed and in the mode of like, I was overdoing it, over pushing it. And then when I stopped, I started to appreciate going for walks in the sunshine and like doing Pilates and yoga and slowing things down because I had to. And then I started to go deep into understanding working with the cycle, how to move with the cycle, how to eat with your cycle, how to really embody those phases. So I went into that like deep learning or relearning. I mean, this is innate, but it was I've forgotten. And so I spent many years as I was recovering and as my mum went through her sickness, like working with feminine embodiment and really understanding the feminine and the masculine and slowing down and connecting with my heart and connecting back with my body and listening to my intuition and, you know, slowing down the monkey mind. And all of this was my path when my mum was sick. And at this time, my partner and I, who I'd met after mum had fell sick, had decided to move to Byron. Randomly, it was a very random pick, and it was during the big C, COVID, which was a great catalyst for change, let's be honest, but it was an absolute shit show. And we moved to Byron, and then I fell pregnant. I'd been working so efficiently with my cycle that we fell pregnant like that, and everything changed again. That was when the crumbling happened of my whole business. I was like, I need to just stop everything. I need to just look after myself, look after this baby, and look after my mum. And that's my focus, which was so hard to actually stop everything because business, working, earning money, all of that is so important to me. But I had to, and I did, and it was a very dark time, and I've spoken about this a lot on this channel, but yeah, it was really hard. I had to really get to know myself, like get to know all parts of self, which is scary when you haven't looked at it ever, and you've just pushed things down, pushed things to the side, not looked at things. And yeah, it was a really big time, but it was the biggest time for my growth ever. And I mean, I look at it now, like my mum's passing was my chance to step up for the lineage and to completely change things for my children and for the children post that to come. So it's it's so freaking sad in a human mind to look at that in that way. But in terms of spiritual, energetic evolution, it makes sense. Like that's what I'm here to do. My mum had to leave. I had to go through that to move onto this really deep journey. And that's why I stepped into this ceremonial work. It came to me, as these do, these opportunities come to me. If it feels good, I say yes. Cacao found me. I used it through my pregnancy, through the time that my mum was sick, through her passing, through postpartum. It's held me. So it was a no-brainer to follow that path and start to facilitate and serve the medicine and work in ceremonial space. And my purpose is my soul's purpose. Here we go. We're getting to the line now. My soul's purpose is to help women connect with their hearts, to speak their truth, to understand what their dreams and desires and needs are, and to follow that, to not live a life that's someone else's dreams. And this is the one thing that I realized about my mum is her cancer manifested here. So in between her heart and her throat. So she never got to speak her truth or understand even what her truth was or what she wanted or follow her dreams. So it manifested in this space. And I mean, that's what happened in those days. It's not that long ago, but our parents, they followed, most of it was around the male making the money, the mum looking after the kids. And that's just how it was. So that's how it was for my mum. But for me, that's different. I don't want that story. I'm breaking that chain. Yes, I am a mother. I'm a beautiful mama. And I'm going to be a mother of two soon. Not yet. I'm not pregnant, but I will be. And I want to be here to serve women in particular, like help women really connect back with their truth, their intuition, their inner knowing, all of the stuff that's been lost and forgotten, working with the cycle, because that is us in our ultimate power, because we don't need anyone else to tell us anything. We are just landed in our own, and, we are the creators. We are the power. We don't need no man telling us what to do or how to do it. So that's what I'm here to do. So I have just followed what's lit me up, and obviously it came from the training world, and that was the big flip when I jumped into the wellness space. It was like, oh, here I am. Yeah, I'm on the path. And I mean, there's still more that I'm here to do. I just am not sure what that is yet. Sometimes that feels frustrating, but I'm trying to surrender. And yeah, for now it's ceremonial work. It's movement, moving with the body rather than against it, moving with the hormones, supporting them rather than against it, and just helping women connect back to self, to heart, to intuition, to truth, to all of that delicious stuff. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's it in a nutshell. I didn't get to the second question of that piece, but I mean, Instagram, social media, my business, I do it my way because I'm an Aquarius sun. I have Venus in Aquarius. I'm just doing my own thing. And I guess I want to be an inspiration for women to do their own thing, I don't want people to be just playing small or doing what they think they should do because their dad told them to get into marketing. Sorry, Dad. It's like, well, what lights you up? I mean, that's why I've started DJing. That makes me so excited. I freaking love it. I love it, but I blocked myself for so many years. And now I'm like, oh, I'm going to be on stage DJing for hundreds, thousands of people overseas. This is like the creator. There's nothing stopping me apart from myself and my own mind and other people's opinions. Fuck that. Anyway, love you guys so much. I'm going to go drink my cacao because I really need it this morning. And my morning rituals. They're waiting for me. Woo, that was a lot. I'm obviously ovulating. I have a lot to say and I'm shining bright, I hope. If you have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time.